and then you'll just head right over there on that side. Yep. Hi, Stevie. How are you? If you could just go sit right over there. Thank you. All right, guys, we got Stevie coming up, Stevie Ray. So if you have some questions, please go ahead and raise your hand. All right, Curtis.
Hi, Stevie. This is Curtis Calhoun with MMA News. Just days away from your PFL debut. What's the excitement level right now? And what are your thoughts on this matchup with Alex Martinez?
Yeah, I'm buzzing to be back. Yeah, excitement. Weigh-ins are tomorrow, so I'm excited for that as well. Get some food and weigh-in, always my favorite part. But yeah, I'm just buzzing to be back, after two and a half years. And yeah, Alexander Martinez, he looks a good fighter. I'm looking forward to the test.
And do you think the quality of opponents you faced during your time in the UFC will be a big advantage for you in the PFL? And how will your experience play out in this fight specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking him lightly whatsoever. You know, he's a young, kind of hungry, motivated fighter. Everybody's dangerous, but yeah, not gonna lie, obviously on paper, I probably have fought tougher opponents. I've been in there with guys like Paul Felder, Joe Lozon, Ross Pearson, Michael Johnson. But yeah, not taking anything away from him. He's obviously put in the work. $1 million is on the line, and he's going to be trying to come and take me out, I'd imagine. So, yeah. But yeah, I've watched some of his fights. I feel like he makes some mistakes, and yeah, he isn't too experienced. So I think if he makes the mistakes I've seen that I'm making in the fights against me, then he's going to suffer for it.
Thanks, Stevie.
Thank you.
Jake.
Jake Foley here. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. So with 32 fights under your belt, you are surely a seasoned veteran with a lot of knowledge. So with as little bias as possible, how do you think you stack up with the PFL lightweight division? And who's the toughest fighter?
I think I stack up there pretty well. I mean, I feel like I've got, all the skills and stuff to win. I believe I'm going to win. Each fighter's got their different kind of strengths and skills and I suppose challenges. There's some guys that might have better wrestling than me or better striking. They might be a little bit faster. I do feel like I'm one of the most all-rounded guys. I've got a pretty decent ground game and good stand-up game. Like you said, I'm experienced. I've been in there a lot. So yeah, put your money on me.
Thank you for your time. Best of luck this season.
Thanks, man.
Danny.
Hey, Stevie, how are you? The world has changed quite a bit since the last time you fought. So I'm just curious, how is this training camp like under this sort of new normal?
Yeah, I mean, COVID and everything, it's been a challenge. It's kind of why I've not fought in so long. And but yeah, to be honest, everything's been the same. I've stayed in the gym back at home, so I'm not got all the distractions with my kids and my own gym at home. So yeah, I've just been kind of isolating in the gym, taking it serious and training as always. So it almost just feels, the same. I've done it that much. It's good to be back.
Yeah, for sure. And you had retired after your last fight against Michael Johnson. Can you explain why that is and what exactly brought you back to MMA that now that we see you with PFL?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and not ramble on too much, but it's a wee bit of a complicated kind of story. Like, I signed a new 4-fight contract with the UFC after I beat Michael Johnson. I then was scheduled to fight Mark Diakese. I had to pulled out for the first time due to injury with my knee. I kind of had that, the issue with my knee. even against the Johnson fight. So yeah, and then there was just, I don't know, it was a bit strange, the whole thing with the UFC. I mean, at the time my knee wasn't great. I do believe like it could have been, you know, sorted, but the UFC basically didn't see a quick solution to my knee, and kind of spoke with my manager about going as a free agent. Then I went as a free agent. You know, COVID was here, so the plan was to go as a free agent, sign somewhere else, and fight. And then obviously, like I said, there was COVID. You know, there was all the complications, shows getting cancelled and stuff. So that's why it's been, you know, I've been 2.5 years since I've fought. But saying that, you know, my knees and my full body is back in kind of, I feel like I'm in my peak. I've went from having a pretty rubbish injury to feeling in my prime.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear. But glad you're feeling much better. So like, did you approach the UFC and you were like, hey guys, you know, I want to go a different route, or did they cut you? How did that go down?
So my manager, Ali Abdelaziz, it was obviously they were speaking through him. Ali was just telling me, you know, that it was better if I signed somewhere else. And like I said, I've not got any really bad comments on the UFC or anybody in that matter. It's just at the time my knee wasn't really good. You know, I emotionally retired. You know, I kind of retired saying, you know what, fuck the sport, fuck, like, you know, kind of emotionally. And then until a little while later, I'm like, Christ, what am I going to do with my life now? And realised obviously it was an emotional decision and that I wanted to fight again. And then COVID kind of made it a lot longer. But finally we're here. I make my return in 2 days. So
yeah. Last question. New promotion. It seems like a new chapter of your career. Obviously, a lot of time in between your last fight and this one as well. Do you almost see it as a new chapter, as a new beginning for Stevie Ray?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's like Stevie Ray 2.0, I feel. You know, it's like new chapter. I'm really impressed with, you know, what I've seen from PFL. It's so professional. And you know, I'm buzzing to see what the kind of future holds. And obviously goal number one is to try and take Alexander Martinez out and go win this $1 million and then take it from there. But yeah, I'm buzzing to be back and be with PFL.
Thank you, Stevie. Best of luck.
Dave.
Hey, Stevie, this is Dave here with Fight Bananas. My man, you're the more veteran fighter. Definitely fought higher level competition than you said, Mr. Martinez, just earlier. But also, you are the betting underdog. Are you intrigued with that? You know, for some people with Fight Bananas, we love to bet on fights. You're definitely our favorite underdog going into this PFL fight week. So does it intrigue you that you're the betting underdog?
Yeah, it just means more of my fans get to win some more money. Yeah, I've been the underdog in loads of fights. You know, sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter to me whether I'm the favorite or underdog. I believe to myself that I'm the favorite. You know, I believe I'm better than Martinez on the ground, on the feet. I believe I'm more experienced, and it's just, I suppose it's my job to go out there and show that.
Absolutely. Also, you grappled with Paddy and the Batty back in 2019. Did you even know back then that he could be one of the stars and in the MMA? He's just taking over the scene right now. Did you see that back then in 2019?
Yeah, he was even a big name back then. You know, it was more obviously regional, like the UK, that he was a big name. But yeah, it was always kind of looking like he was going to become a big name, depending on the results, obviously. But he's got the charismatic kind of profile, and yeah, I won that match by flying heel hook, so it was a good one.
It was a good one, my man. Best of skill of you, and yeah, we're betting on the underdog, my man. Good luck.
Thanks, man.
Mark.
Hey, Stevie, how you doing?
Hey, mate. Good. How are you?
good. I'm good. You're obviously a two-time Cage Warriors lightweight champion, and I think a lot of people seem to talk about the UFC career a little bit more because it's the most current of all of your fights. But do you feel like Cage Fury and everything like that, or I'm sorry, Cage Warriors has become like sort of a breeding ground for the UFC right now? I mean, you've got probably the highest ranked fighter coming out of Cage Warriors recently is Sean Brady at 170 pounds, but do you think that this is just all of the new wave of MMA fighters, aside from the PFL, aside from the UFC, that Cage Warriors is kind of just breeding all of this new talent for the years to come?
Yeah, I mean, the Cage Warriors is basically like a stepping stone. There's, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but there's been so many fighters that have came from Cage Warriors. Conor McGregor obviously being one. He was just right before me. He vacated his belt, went to the UFC. I then won his belt. There's like Michael Bisping and so many others. But yeah, Cage Warriors is like one of the the top European shows. That then obviously leads to the UFC because the pay difference is quite substantial.
Right. Is there anybody that you've trained with, a training partner, somebody who maybe isn't at the top level yet, that you think can make big waves in the professional MMA scene, whether it's PFL, whether it's Cage Warriors, whether it's the UFC? Is there somebody off the top of your head who you think is going to make a big name for themselves in the years to come?
Oh, I mean, the guys at our gym, there's loads of them, but 3 of them off the top of my head that are gonna be big names pretty soon is Mark Ewan. I think he's only 23, and he's an absolute beast. I think he's 4-0 pro lightweight. So keep an eye on him. There's Sean Clancy. I think he's only 19. He's still just an amateur, but honestly, he is really, really good, and he's going to go far. And then the last one, Dylan Took. Dylan Took came over from Ireland, lives in the gym in Scotland now, and yeah, he's I'm not sure what his record is. I think it's maybe 5-2, 4-1, something like that. And yeah, he's improving a lot as well. So those 3 are gonna go far.
Awesome. Thank you, Stevie, and best of luck in your first fight.
Thank you, man.
All right. Last question for Randall.
Hey, Stevie, just taking a look at your Instagram, wanted to wish your daughter a happy 7th birthday.
Thank you, man.
And as your kids grow older, how is their view of you as their dad as a fighter developed as they've gotten older?
To be honest, I would say it's still just the same. They kind of know that it's my job and that I fight, and I don't think they kind of understand to the level it's at still. I mean, my boy, my oldest, he's 11. My youngest is 2. I've got 4 of them. But yeah, I think when they get a bit older, they'll realise that I went pretty far. And that I suppose I'm locally famous maybe and in my hometown. There's not very many fighters from Kirkcaldy or even Scotland that's did what I've did. So yeah.
What do you want them to learn from you making this return and just having a fighter's mentality in general?
Just to, I suppose, never give up. That it doesn't matter how good your life is going, you're always going to get bad days. I mean, I remember like, it was an absolute roller coaster ever getting to the UFC. And then when I got there, I thought my life's just going to be amazing. And then obviously it isn't quite, you still have shit days. You still have some of my hardest times were there. So it's just fighter's mentality is just, it's just life is a constant battle, and it's how you deal with it in your head. And yeah, so that I would say.
One phrase I like to keep to myself is every top of the mountain is the bottom of the next one. So keep going, man. Appreciate it.
That's that, man.
All right. Thank you so much, Stevie. Appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Always.
Yep. All good. Hi, Jeremy. Good. How are you? You can just go ahead and head right over there. All right, guys.